All right, everyone, welcome to our March 10th, 2025 general reading with Dr. Fryson. Let's get into our affirmations. First one, I am surrounded by opportunities that align with my ambitions. Second, I am surrounded by opportunities that align with my ambitions. Third, I am surrounded by opportunities that align with my ambitions. Remember to repeat the affirmation 3 times. And I was looking at the energy for the day, and I want to point out before we do anything else that there's an energy involving immigration today. So there's some secrecy involving immigration, and you might find out more about that information today. And this is about people who are not in the heads of state, so this at a lower level. So this is your everyday worker. So you're going to find out more information about what's going on with immigration. And then there's going to be an energy of trying to do something, working hard to do something, but then that being a painful experience because you don't have all the information that you need. So you're relying on your intuition to guide you. And some of you are not exactly completely in touch with your intuition. So therefore, you're not hearing it completely. So you're only getting part of the information that is coming out a lot today. Um, there can be some issues with your joints, your nails, and your hormones, right? There's remedies for all those things, so be careful. And all of those things, hormones especially, impact the mind, impact the whole body. So that could be something that's throwing off your intuition. Okay, let's get into things a little bit backwards, right? Because other than how I normally do the reading. So going forward with our astrology reading instead of the other way around, because this is where I saw energies that were interesting. Venus, Mercury still moving together, Sun, Saturn still moving together, but the shift now with the Sun and Saturn, they're pretty much even, which means the Sun, which brings newness, which brings innovation, which brings masculine energy, which brings let's do it my way, is becoming a bigger player, right? And this is happening in your health. So when I think of the Sun and health issues, those are things with testosterone, those are things with muscles, those are things with energy that could be associated with prostate, this dis-ease that occurs in the masculine system, right? Traditionally, cancers, some types of chronic cancers were more masculine energies versus some autoimmune disorders were more feminine energy. So I can see more information coming out about those things. Perhaps there's a new discovery, a new drug that's geared towards men, and that drug, information about that drug will be revealed today. That's kind of showing up in the energy of the day. There's another thing that I want to point out when it comes to your spouse, your significant other for this day. Now, your spouse or significant other may receive news about a new job or new promotion, and they're going to need your support, right? Because that's something that's showing up for them in the energy. And another thing that's showing up for your spouse, and this is literally spouse, partnership in a romantic type way for that person. There's also some things showing up about with their children. Could be your children, could be stepchildren, could be in-laws or something like that, to where there's a new chronic kind of health disorder coming about, or someone maybe looking to get a job in an industry that the spouse feels is beneath them, right? It's not in their class, right? So let's just say the spouse is a queen or a king, and the person wants to go and be a waitress at a restaurant, right? So there's a difference in what is expected. So that information might be coming through for you today as well. Let's go forward with what the numerology energy is for the 10th. In general, it is a 4 energy, which brings about hard work, right? It brings about diligence. It brings about obedience to things, right? Normally, you would expect a person to be obedient to the father and to the mother and to those leaders, but you might see some rebellious energy with that today. With the moon, we have the moon in Leo. Okay, so the moon in Leo. this fiery, aggressive energy who wants to do things contrary to what the mom and the home says should be done. You got that going on. But for those of you who are actually Leo, you could have a good time during this phase. Check out your Leo reading. You have to find yourself with harmonious things, things that bring you back to home, to your safety, right? Things that make you feel like you're safe. You need to look for that. And I know that might be difficult for you, but you can find it. Get into it. You need to be organized. You need to know in advance how you're going to respond to things. So you need to map out how the situation could go, whatever project you're working on, and come up with a response for whatever those different scenarios are in your life, because you could be trying to work on a negotiation and it could be extremely successful for you. Let's look at the numerology energy for the actual United States, right, as a whole. All right, so this energy is a 6 energy. Definitely about relationships, definitely about giving to others or trying to give to each other, but it's combined with a 4 energy. So it brings us back to a little bit of selfishness on some of those things, but it also brings us to an energy of where some plans come to fruition. Like you see some movement in the country towards harmony on some big item, right? Whatever that is, there's going to be some communication that makes you feel a little bit more harmonious, makes you feel a little bit of hope that you'll find out on this particular day. The best colors for today: bright red, yellow, mustard seed green. Be careful about looking back, because this also brings the energy where people want to go back and say things were better at this particular time, things were better at that particular time. And sometimes you can spend a lot of time looking back and thinking about going backwards, and you forget all of those other things that you didn't like about when you went backwards, right? And this could be in relationships, this could be in looking back for an ex and being like, we did have some good times. You got to remember that there's a totality of what happened in those relationships. So that's the energy that's happening. I want you guys to be careful for that. That's all I got for you guys for the 10th. Have a lovely one.